life is just kind of, you sometimes wonder if people work because siestas, South America, you're done, you eat lunch. For us, it was, I think we ate lunch at 12, from 12 to 1, but then we would start working back at 1 and there'd nobody be out until, 3 or 4 because you shut it down from 12 to 2 or 3. So, it was kind of hard. We'd try to go find people in their homes at those areas. But they're taking their siesta, so they're not really wanting to be bothered. But yeah, life is just it's simple, which I really really enjoyed. You don't get caught. It seemed like people weren't caught up in too much of the monotony of everyday life. The thing that struck me as a young missionary is I know people struggled with money. Like I said, before with jobs, I don't think people were making a ton of money, but it seemed to never really be an issue. People are happy down there, and they're happy because if they can put a meal on the table, and if their family's good, and if if they have the gospel in their lives, they seem to be okay. The one thing that struck me is even if I knew a couple was struggling, but they scheduled us for lunch, I would feel so bad, but they would give us whatever they had, to eat, and that's just the kind of people that they are. And so, yeah, just life. I think people get up, pretty early, have their little breakfast, go do their work, come home, have a huge lunch, spend some family time, go work for a little bit later, and then at night you just kind of relax and hang out. There are a lot of people hang out in town squares and just kind of socialize and walk around, and whatever religion you are, it's usually a big part of your life down there in Venezuela. So whether you're Catholic or LDS or Pentecostal or Jehovah's Witness, that seems to be a big part of your routine, whether you're going to mass or hanging out in the square or going to church. For us it was Monday night was family home evening. We tried to do a Noche Misional, which is kind of like a mission activity night at the church. So there was always seemed to be something going on, with the ward activities that, people just really loved, to be together. So, when we focus on family baptisms, it was kind of easy because family's huge down there. I mean, you respect your elders, you respect your parents. That's just what you do. If someone, if your elder gets old, they move in with you. So it's not uncommon for a family to live with aunts and uncles and grandparents. You take care of your family. And that's great, and it fit into what we were trying to do as missionaries too. So those Venezuelan values where family just kind of, you stick to your family, was huge. As culture-wise, I think a lot of it stems from those traditional Catholic ideals. You stay together, you watch out for one another, the community watches out for each other. I served in a little city. My second area, Cito, was about 13 streets long and about 13 streets wide, and I was there for 4.5 months, so I got to know pretty much everyone in that town. But everybody, is not. I just don't know if it's a cultural thing or if it's a Latin American thing, but it's just, everybody's respectful. You treat everybody with respect. You watch out and care for everyone. You may not be the same religion, but you're usually, it doesn't really matter because most of those people in those towns have known each other forever, for years. The culture of being together, whether it's at lunch or at dinner time, it wasn't uncommon for us as missionaries to go into a house before we shut it down at 9:30 to go to a member's house to check in or see if they had a referral for us at 9 and have the whole family in there with cousins and aunts and uncles gathered around the table, having food or just talking, playing, dancing, listening to music. That's huge too, music and dance, and just, I don't know if it's a party culture, but everything seems to be a reason to celebrate or to have fun. So I love that aspect of culture. Just the way of life is just to be happy. Which is great. So.